Still don't see the countdown.
How did you spend your Saints bye week? I got drunk watching Astros baseball. Saints are headed to Seattle, rested, ready to stomp Truther, Pete, and Gino into the dirt. Thomas, hit the intro.
G'day, it's Stevic from 12 Ninja here, and look, if you like American football, you should check out Saints Happy Hour podcast. I personally know fuck all about American football, other than it's a bunch of massive blokes wearing spandex, shoulder pads and helmets, running around with throwing a football. In Australia, you don't throw footballs. You punch it or you kick it, and there's no protection. They're all naked, and there's sharks and crocodiles fired out of cannons onto the field, and we all stand around and drink blood watching it. But American football's your thing, you know what to do. Saints Happy Hour podcast. Stick it in your ear hole.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are live on Twitch. If you aren't following us on Twitch, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. Also, become an annual patron, Patreon/Saints Happy Hour, to get the best Saints podcast every day, and you get a month for free. Also, I just want to thank the people on Twitch. We had 4 new subs since our last show. Cajun and thanks for the tier 1 sub. Robert D. Datkins, Felix_internet. Cocoin83, thanks for the Twitch Prime subs. Remember, guys, if you subbed with Amazon Prime last month, you can sub again this month too. You basically get 1 totally free sub each month. All you have to do is click subscribe below the stream and choose the option subscribe with Prime. Show us some love because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out a lot. And Thomas always wants me to remind you that you can do a Twitch clip. There's a clip icon to the left of the full screen icon. When you hover over the live stream window, there's an editor that opens and you can adjust the duration of the clip and give it the appropriate name. Remember, you can do it during the show. So if you do it and it's awesome, Thomas might use it tonight if you're
lost me. I got ADD. You lost me. I have a few shout outs. I don't know if Jimmy Pittenger or James Luck, if either of you are watching this right now, shout out to you guys. My wife, you see these balloons back here? She's about to turn. My wife. She's about to. Thank you. About to turn 40 on Thursday. So if you see the balloons right here behind me, that's why. And there was something else I was going to shout out, but I've already forgotten. So that's it.
Shout out.
I guess shout out to Geno Smith, who's starting against the Saints.
He looks like human trash can.
That's good news for us.
Shout out to Ed Ogeron. He's getting $17 million to go away. He's living his best life.
Yeah, that's right.
The Saints are on a bye week.
Younger than Andrew's wife.
Dave, the Saints are on a bye week. Before you get to your rant about how Hail Marys are just boring because they happen all the time, and like 5 of them happened this weekend, so I know you're going to take a victory lap over that. Before you do that, it was a good day for the Saints today. Back in second place in the NFC South, Carolina. Sam Darnold is back to being a pumpkin. They lost. Feeling pretty good about the Saints in the bye week.
Yeah, what the Falcons had a bye too, I guess. Yeah. So Falcons had a bye. Buccaneers. Yeah.
Buccaneers won on Thursday night.
Yeah, Buccaneers won on Thursday. But the Panthers lost. Darnold, yeah. I mean, look, this division is anybody's division. It's week 6. We're going into week 7 now. This is anybody's race. There's whoever wants it can have it. It's just all about who's gonna. Seriously. Even the Carolina Panthers can. Even the Atlanta Falcons can win this division if they really wanted to. If they really wanted to put it together and start winning football.
That's too much.
I'm just saying, like, mathematically, as far as like records are concerned, it's still early. Mathematically, anybody can win this division.
Is this where you're going to go into your like Hail Mary rant now?
Yeah.
Because that's where the Atlanta Falcons winning this division, that's where that belongs. In the same sphere as that
I wasn't even going to say anything, but Ralph has now mentioned it, and Andrew, now you've now mentioned it, and obviously this is like hanging over your heads like a
Percolating.
cloud. Yes,
Yeah.
so obviously I think to move on with the rest of this podcast, we should just need to talk about this. And what we need to talk
elephant in
about,
the room.
what we need to talk about is how much shit you guys gave me last week because I was mildly unimpressed with the fact that Jameis Winston completed a Hail Mary pass to end the first half of the game. And by the way, one of the things that I didn't mention yesterday last week during the podcast when I mentioned how unimpressed I was is the fact that it was just the end of the first half. It wasn't even the end of the game. It wasn't a Hail Mary that was deciding the fate of the game, the end of the game, who was going to win, who was going to lose. It was just to end the half to decide who was going into the locker room. So in and of itself, that's one major reason why, as far as Hail Marys are concerned, it was not that big of a deal and it was not that exciting. So fast forward to today, or actually to yesterday,
Ralph,
where we had there was a Hail Mary in the LSU Florida game. Is that correct? I didn't watch it.
There was.
Let's go.
Yesterday,
And it was completed?
It
It was.
Oh, okay. And then there was and then today the Browns, there was a Hail Mary?
That was correct.
Yeah.
Oh, it was completed?
It was.
Oh, wow. It seems like Hail Marys, especially completed Hail Marys, it sounds like they happen all the time.
Dave
and
has
it's
unlocked
not that big of a deal.
Dave has unlocked the portal to like Hail Mary heaven, and it's just gonna be Hail Marys all 2021. It's
The new meta.
Look, again. I stand by what I said last week. Like, it was a great play. I'm happy it happened. It was great to get the 7 points. I'm sorry, but like, just in the grand scheme of football, of the football world, it just wasn't. It was to end the first half. It wasn't to end the game. It wasn't that exciting. It was a Hail Mary, yes, great, but it wasn't like the most amazing thing to happen.
You're an asshole.
It was more. Did you guys
You're an
watch?
asshole.
Did you guys watch the Patriots? The Patriots? Who the
Cowboys?
Yeah, the Patriots Cowboys game. That was
we
wild.
got a new sub, Brett
was a
in
wild
Lafayette. He subbed for 2 months. Brett, you're the
crazy
man.
game, right?
That
You know
was
what
wild.
didn't happen in that game?
That was fun.
No Hail Mary was completed.
No, because there were
right?
Because you know why? Because there were more interesting things that happened. Because there were like catches where all of a sudden the defenseman just tear the ball away before he even passed. Or there was Dak Prescott going over the goal line but losing the ball before he scores a touchdown. Like, there were more different, unique plays. Like, please. That's what's like a Hail Mary. Like, the Hail Marys happen all the time. All the time, not a big deal.
Dave,
I think my point has been proven. The fact that whoever is running the world here in our big blue marble, whatever religion you want to believe in, but the fact that we had the Browns and LSU and whatever the week following my whole rant last week, it's proof in the pudding. It's just like. You guys just had to be slapped in the face. You had to be slapped in the face, and I'm glad that the universe was here to slap you in the face at the time when you needed to be slapped in the face.
Oh my God, Dave is. If the Saints hit another, I want the Saints.
This could not have worked.
This Dave is so insufferable about this, Andrew. There's like a 5% part of me that wants the Saints not to hit another Hail Mary this year because he's already insufferable.
I know. Well,
you know what's funny is if you had never told me about, you guys told me about both of them, and if you had not told me about either of them, I wouldn't have even known that they had existed, and you could have just gone on your lives, and I had no idea that there was a Hail Mary in the Browns game.
Yeah, we got our first GIF sub ever, which is amazing. So,
wait, we got what?
Thomas, who is it?
I don't know what that means, Ralph.
Jay-Z Verdi gifted a sub to Jay Haynes 79. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so that's
Is
amazing.
that like a hipster social media thing?
No. Why
So
is that?
listen,
You can just gift subs on Twitch too. You don't have to.
so
gift
we
sub
know
your-
Dave isn't
sub yourself.
impressed by Hail Marys,
Anyway,
but
this,
I want you both to answer this question. What's the biggest surprise, good or bad or both, from the Saints? They're 3-2. Andrew, what's your biggest surprise as we sit here? The Saints are 3-2. We're feeling really good because we're watching Geno Smith play for the Seattle and look terrible on Sunday night, and the Saints are going to Seattle next week. What's your biggest surprise as the Saints sit here 3-2?
My biggest surprise is that we completed a Hail Mary in a game. I'm just kidding.
that's the worst joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's a good question. Through 5 weeks, the Saints are 3-2. That's a surprise in itself, just when you consider what they've been up against. And we've talked about, everything that's transpired with the Saints through 5 weeks. And it's been a lot. The injuries, all that. But the biggest surprise to me, I would say, is that I would probably go with Adam Troutman being a complete non-factor. That's probably been the biggest surprise to me, in the sense that, I don't know that I knew he would be good, but I didn't think he would suck this bad.
Does he? I mean, do you factor? Is his blocking terrible too? I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he's missed some blocks. Yeah, I mean, I think his blocking has generally been good, or at least okay, but he has stood out a few times with his blocking as well, where you're like, he gave up a sack there, or he gave up, he missed a block there and it blew up a run play. So I would just say, in general, Adam Troutman has been bad, and he's the starting tight end, and the Saints went with him, and you kind of put all their eggs in that basket, and he's kind of sucked. So honestly, the biggest surprise to me when I look at the roster is it's probably Adebo, probably Paulson Adebo. He's stepped up. He's played pretty well. He's a rookie. The whole talk this year was about the Saints being thin at corner and really not having a number 2 corner, and who was going to replace Janoris Jenkins. And Paulson Adebo has stepped up, and he's been a number 2 corner for this team, a good one. And I did not see that coming, not this early in the season, especially when he sat out last year, didn't play. So, of all the things that have transpired this year, that's been the biggest, at least the biggest pleasant surprise, is Adebo.
Dave, what's your biggest surprise for the Saints at 3-2?
Well, this isn't fair because Andrew took 2, and one of them was mine. Andrew picked Troutman.
Completing the Hail Mary, was that the biggest for you?
No. You picked Troutman, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm good to go, because my pick was going to be Adebo.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the obvious pick. So, no harm, no foul. Obviously, I think anybody that follows the Saints would say, oh my God, Adebo is definitely the biggest surprise. But no, and Troutman, I mean, look, Troutman sucks. And
sucks.
He just sucks. He just sucks. I'm sorry. He just sucks.
He's like Pete Carroll making. It's like Pete Carroll making 9/11 takes.
Yeah, no, they're hot garbage. But the only thing that I would disagree with you is I don't know why you thought he was going to be. I mean, I don't know what you saw ever in Troutman.
He had 3 catches last year, Dave, that were amazing. Amazing.
Please. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
He got the Mina Kine seal of approval in the offense.
He had 3 catches because they were amazing. Same thing. I think he had the Traquan treatment. It's like you said, Traquan is golden 100%. When opposing teams forget about Traquan, and I think on those 3 Troutman catches, it was probably because opposing teams were like, "Holy shit, who is this guy that they're throwing to? I don't know. We got to cover him. Oh shit, it's too late." So there you go.
I mean, better once. Is it possible that it feels a little bit better once?
Vanette.
No, sorry. When Michael Thomas comes back.
Maybe my biggest
I would like to think everything feels better when Michael.
Well,
Thomas
everything will. Michael Thomas, if he's even close to the Michael Thomas we know, everything can be better on offense. My biggest surprise though is Of all the things we talked about in the offseason, we were worried about corner. It's fine because they got a Debo. We were worried about linebacker. It's fine. They got Pete Werner. We were worried about receiver. That's still an issue. But you know what we didn't talk about in the offseason? We didn't talk about the fact that the pass rush would be non-fucking existent. And it is. And we're writing love letters to Trey Hendrickson. That's how bad the pass rush is. And he turned into Lawrence Taylor or something, Andrew. I don't understand. That dude has 6.5 sacks. And when he left,
Do you have 2 today?
Like,
yes, he had 2.
Oh my!
At least 2.
Wow.
At least 2. I didn't even watch the end of the game. I watched the first half and he had 2.
He left and we were like, good for you, Trey Hendrickson, stealing some of Cincinnati's money. He's never going to get 13.5 sacks again. That was a unicorn year. They'll regret that.
20.
Now we're like, oh my God, the Saints should have found a way to pay him.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and I remember you asking me, Ralph, you're like, this is unsustainable, right? Trey Hendrickson. And I was like, well, I don't know. He's winning in a lot of different ways. That's what tells you a pass rusher is good, when he bull rushes and he uses his bend. But when he's bendy, Dave, right? Bendy.
I mean, it's all about the bend quotient.
The bend quotient. But I don't know. He was winning in a lot of different ways, and it used to just be hustle sacks for him.
But the thing is, Andrew, and as we see, if you're watching on the live stream, you see Thomas doing a great job showing highlights of the Saints defense against New England and making the plays. The thing that's so surprising to me, if you told me the Saints were 29th in sacks after 5 weeks before the season started, I'd be like, oh my God. They might be 1-4.
They're 1-4, yeah.
They're 3-2, and their defense is playing really good. Like, their pass rush, they've survived with, now the Giants had bit them in the ass hard, but they get Onyemata back, they get Davenport back, it can be okay. Like, for them to have thrived with no pass rush is pretty freaking incredible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm actually disappointed they're not 4-1 because they really should have beat the Giants. So I look at that game and I'm like, man, they should have won that. They should be 4-1 right now. But then if you look at statistically at everything, I think the biggest surprise is that they're 3-2 because the offensive line has been awful. The receivers have been awful. Jameis Winston has been okay. Statistically good, but like eye test, not that great. Pass rush, awful. Secondary, good, but like a little up and down. So like kicking game, atrocious, right? So you look at all that and put it together and you're like, and then I start to ask myself, how the hell is this team 3-2?
Well, that segues into my next point, my next question, Dave. And the biggest disappointment of the 2021 Saints season. And I'll start out. My biggest disappointment is Marquez Callaway, not because I bought him in an auction draft, which maybe I put the Marlboro stink on him and it's partially my fault, but I thought he could be a number 2 receiver. He's not even really a number 2 receiver. He's like a really nice number 3. He's my biggest disappointment. I can't say I guess I'm disappointed.
I've got a problem with that. You say he's not a number 2 receiver. He hasn't really been asked to be a number 2 receiver yet. He's been asked to be a number 1 receiver. He hasn't had Michael Thomas back. When Michael Thomas comes back, then Marquez, or Traquan Smith, then Marquez Callaway can be a number 2 receiver. But up until now,
or number 3, yeah.
Yeah, but up until now, Marquez Callaway has had to be a number 1 receiver. Okay, you didn't ask Marquez Callaway to be a number 1 receiver. You asked him to be a number 2 receiver. So you've asked him to do too much, and so it's not fair that you hold him to these expectations. I mean, I'm being dead serious. Like, Marquez Callaway was never intended. He was undrafted, so he was never signed as an undrafted free agent to be the number 1 guy. He wasn't intended to be the star of the Saints. He was expected to be a nice depth piece, a nice guy, a nice diamond in the rough kind of guy. And that's exactly what he has been. And when Mike Thomas comes back and when Traquan Smith comes back, then Marquez Callaway is a wonderful number 3, maybe even you could even say the most talented number 3 wide receiver in the NFL.
What's your biggest disappointment so far, though, Dave?
My biggest disappointment so far, I'm not disappointed with the quarterback play. I'm not disappointed with the secondary play. I'm not disappointed with the linebacker play.
We're asking what you are disappointed
I
with.
know. I'm trying to narrow it down here.
They shouldn't have got rid of the ramps at the Superdome.
Yeah.
It might be my biggest disappointment.
I guess offensive line. Just in general, offensive line.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
But are you disappointed because of bad play, or are you just disappointed because they got a bunch of people hurt?
Yeah.
Just in general, I'm disappointed that. I mean, both. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
To answer your question, yes, I'm disappointed that they've got to deal with injuries, and then in addition to that, I'm disappointed with the fact that those players yeah. My God.
Andrew, what's your biggest disappointment? What are you looking at after 5 weeks?
Look, I know that Will Lutz was hurt, but right now the Saints are 1 for 4 on the season for field goals. That's 25%. So I know Will Lutz.
Shit! I forgot about the kicking game.
I know Will Lutz. I know Will Lutz isn't there, but like 25% field goal kicking is. It's an abomination. I mean, look at
Thomas
that.
has got a field goal kicking reel. This is the saddest highlight Thomas has ever made. Look at this.
I mean, they can't make a field goal. Yeah, it's a snuff film. It really is.
They hired the lead singer
it doesn't
AC/DC
matter
to
who's
kick field
kicking
goals,
it
though.
because
Brian
they're going to
Johnson.
injure
It's
their
gonna
groin
change.
as they try to do it,
Ugh.
and then they're going to miss, as decoration. So, I mean, how can you not mention field goal kicking? It's just it's laughable. It really has been laughable. And when you talk about the Saints in the 60s and 70s, and it's on par with that. It really is. They've missed 2 extra points. They're 1 for 4 on field goals. It is that bad. It's pathetic.
They're lucky. The more I think about it, they're really, really fortunate to be 3-2, considering the injuries and the kicking disaster that they've had. Like they're lucky in that they've only played one score game, the Giants, and kicking kind of bit them in the ass that game. But it's true. But here's the thing.
I got another one to throw in there. I'm gonna mention Cam Jordan.
Oh yeah,
he's been better than last year. Last year he wasn't good, and there was concern that he was washed, he was done, and I actually think he's looked better this year. So I am both. I feel some promise in the sense that it looks like looks a little better than last year, but it's also like, dude, 5 games into the season, we're almost a third of the way in here, and you're sitting at 0 sacks. Why are we paying you all this money again? Like, you got to start producing, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point. Like, you're one of the highest paid guys on the roster. You're a legend in Saints history. What's going on here? So I would say Cam Jordan's production level has been 0. I mean, he has 0 sacks. He's played the run pretty well. He's gotten some pressures here and there, but to me, he's a big disappointment.
How much of him do you really start to be even harder on him once you get Onyemata back and once you get Davenport back?
Big time.
Do you grade him even harder then? But
yes.
My question to you, Dave, and this is because I like to balance the negative with the positive. Who is a guy that you're very confident in that once he comes back, because they're missing a ton of guys, I won't list them all, but who's a guy that once he comes back, he'll be huge starting with the Seattle game?
I don't think Mike Thomas is coming back for next week. I would say Traquan. I think. Oh, Mike Thomas is going to be back this week. This next week coming up. Okay. Well, I mean that's. You wanted more air horn. You got more air horn.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
That's surprising to me. I mean, I wasn't aware of that because prior to that knowledge, I would say Traquan because I know Traquan's been dying to come back, and I was going to say Traquan because I think that he could definitely be a big difference maker just in adding depth to the wide receiver core. But if Mike Thomas is coming back, then
Might.
I mean, then he's the obvious answer. I'm not gonna take Traquan over Mike Thomas.
My answer is Davenport. I think Davenport's going to come
No
back and
way.
he's going to give us.
Yeah,
he's going to
no
give
way.
us.
Davenport's gonna come back and get injured.
He's going to
I
come
was gonna
back
say
and give us
he's
a
gonna
month
come
that's
back and
gonna
be great
amazing.
for the 7 snaps that he gives the Saints right up until the point where he gets hurt again.
Yeah,
His
sorry, I'm
arm's
not
going to
buying
fall
that.
off,
Yeah,
but he's
I'm
going to
not
give us a
buying that.
month that's going to be amazing.
No,
It's my choice.
You
Andrew,
mean
who's
2
your
snaps?
choice for
You'd be lucky to get it. Honestly, if you were like Dave, I'll give you a month of Jeremy Davenport, like quality. Dave,
Dude,
Dave,
that
I'm
is
just
Who
Dave,
the fuck is Jeremy Davenport?
I mean,
dude, that is full Ralph time.
that is like Ralph, but even Bizarro Ralph.
Jeremy Davenport doesn't even
like Ralph at least will call him like Marquez Davenport or like
no,
I don't know.
No, Jeremy Davenport is a musician and he's a New Orleans
Marquise.
musician. See, you guys don't even know because you don't even really live in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, way to turn that back around on us, Dave.
Yeah,
Way
I
to
will.
make us look like the
Somebody
idiots.
in the
Yeah,
chat-
yeah.
That's right.
Somebody in the
I
chat
can't believe you guys
verify
don't
that.
know
Is
Jerry
Dave just-
Davenport. Like
Is
you
Dave
guys are
just making
losers.
stuff up? Is Jeremy Davenport like a real musician in New Orleans, or is Dave just
Jeremy,
making
Jerry,
stuff up?
whatever.
To verify
I love that Dave, like, that is so fucking Dave to be like, oh, you guys don't know Jeremy Davenport? Like, just spin it back around on us. Like, it's our fault that he doesn't know Marcus Davenport's name.
Marcus Davenport.
You don't know
Jesus.
You don't know Belinda Camara? Come on, guys.
You don't know some person that has nothing to do with the Saints? No, I don't. I obsess about the Saints.
Jeremy Davenport has like his own like lounge. Like
That's
in,
great.
Jeremy Carport.
Good for you, Dave.
He's
I
a
think,
bass
like,
Good
in
for
the
him,
Four
too.
in the 4 seasons. No, he's not a bass player. I think a trumpet player.
Check it out.
Thomas.
There's the
excellent.
Wikipedia.
Oh, he was born in St.
I
Louis.
got you,
Well,
Dave.
I know. Thank you. That's surprising. I didn't know he was born in St. Louis.
He has some tutelage from Winton and Ellis Marcel.
Yes, he's a fucking New Orleans
legit
musician. Yeah, legit icon. And I'm sorry that I got my love of music and my love of football confounded.
So
Sorry.
you're sorry that you went
fucking
full
sue
Ralph.
me.
Is that what
Sue
you're
me.
saying? You're sorry that you're going full Ralph.
I
Full
went
and
full
complete
Ralph.
there.
What? I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about.
I'm surprised you have 2
The Hail
working
Mary.
arms at this point.
Yeah. You were talking about Dave, you were just making jokes about how Davenport will give us 7 snaps. They'll be amazing, and then he'll get
If we're lucky, he'll get 7 snaps. If we're lucky, Davenport will give us 7 snaps.
Who?
And
I'm guessing Jeremy Davenport must call in sick a lot to his musician gigs.
Jeremy
He must have ailments like throat ailments and things going on that prevent him from performing on a frequent basis.
Right.
If he's a true Davenport, you know.
Right. That's right.
Here's my question to you, Andrew. Who's the Saints MVP after 5 weeks?
Oh, that's
Because
a good question.
my instinct is to be like Lattimore, but I feel like that might be a little bit of recency bias.
He had a few he had good games early in the season.
All 3 of them are on your fathead wall, so I appreciate
That's
that.
right.
It makes it easy for me to say who the MVPs are because
Mario
all 3 of
Davis.
them are right here. So
And
yeah.
Jeremy Davenport. I got Jeremy
You got
Davenport.
you got Marshawn Lattimore at the top. You got DeMarvin Davis in the middle, and then you got Blake Gillikin at the bottom.
No.
That's your 3 MVPs right there.
No, that's what I was gonna say. If we can zoom in on Ralph, if we can zoom in on the Jeremy Davenport fan, I think that one's playing the trumpet.
That's right.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Anyway, Marcus Davenport is going to be injured tomorrow.
So, but who is MVP? I think it's an interesting discussion. The Saints after 5
I would go Lattimore,
James.
especially with the cast. You know,
Dave going Lattimore. I mean, Dave going Jameis.
No, I'm not. I don't know.
you can't pick anybody on the offensive side of the ball.
No. No. Yeah, you're right. You really can't.
Can I make?
I was thinking a Debo, but I feel like in this situation, you give a Debo like a rookie of the year.
It's Lattimore, Davis, and Gillikin. It's one of those 3.
Honestly, well, actually, you know what? I think you could. I think DeMario. I think DeMario is the.
I mean, I know it's kind of a
I think
cheat,
he's the MVP.
but seriously, can I make Sean Payton the MVP? Because
No,
here's the
can't.
thing:
He lost us.
if you can you think of the Saints if they had Urban Meyer as the coach, or they had Robert Saleh as the coach, or they had, God forbid, John Gruden as the coach? I mean,
he lost us he lost us the game against
the Giants. But they'd be.
the
But I think this is Sean Payton's best coaching job he's ever done with the Saints.
That's saying something. Wow.
I don't think it's. I don't know if I would say it's the best coaching job he's ever done with the Saints. I think it's more obvious of how good he is as a coach now.
Maybe.
I think he's always been a great coach. I think it's more obvious now because he's had to turn more chicken shit into chicken salad than he ever has. And I think you're noticing it more now.
I just think with the Saints, Andrew,
that's what I think.
When you look at a lot of these teams, they don't know quite who they are. For the Saints to sort of switch on the fly and be like, yeah, we play defense and we run the ball and we take shots with Jameis. Like, that's what we do now. And like, maybe it'll change over the year, but like they have an identity that they run with. And I just think Sean Payton's been tremendous. And I
agree.
I think you put almost any other coach with the Saints and they're a disaster this year.
Totally. We're fortunate to have him. And for all of you idiots that, I'm not going to call you idiots, but that just complain about Sean Payton's play calling. You're like, oh, he's the worst. What is this play call? I mean, consider the alternative, right? You see these coaches on TV on Saturdays and Sundays. And so anyway, you know, and I want to thank all of you that are donating on Twitch. The more you donate, the bigger the flag gets for Ralph behind him, the Go Saints. That's right. So like, at some point, it might cover like 12% of his wall. Right now, it's at about 8%. So it'd be nice to have it look a little bigger.
I was kind of hoping the more you donate, the smaller it gets, and we'll see how small we can get on the flag.
Okay. Even better. Yes. We're looking to have a smaller Go Saints flag.
That's right.
Smaller.
And smaller fat heads, too. Mini fat heads.
Who's the rookie of the year, Dave? Is it Adebo or is it Werner?
No,
it's Adebo.
Yeah, Adebo's not even close.
I mean,
well, it is close, and it could.
Yeah,
as the season progresses, I think Werner could insert himself in the conversation. But I agree with Dave. Right now, it's Adebo.
Yeah, the thing that's incredible to me.
He picked off Aaron Rodgers. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
that in of itself is amazing.
That was like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like we lucked out in the fact that we played Aaron Rodgers on. He was having a bad day. I don't know what was going on with Aaron Rodgers that day, but he was having a bad day.
I gotta say, like Thomas is on his game tonight.
Do you think?
I brought up the kicking game, and he put all these kicker highlights. We talk about Adebo, and look at this. He's showing Adebo's picks.
He pulled up Jeremy Davenport's wiki.
I mean,
that was the piece de resistance.
He's pitching a perfect game.
Yeah.
Here's
Jeremy Davenport.
It's like he's covering Mike Evans tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Saints?
Does he have a cast? Thomas, do you have a cast on your arm?
I have a cast, but not on my arm. You know.
It's on your penis. Got it.
Do you think, Andrew? Do you think the Saints just a teeny tiny bit regret the Roby trade?
Mm-mm.
Yes, I do. Well, thing is, like, if you were to ask me what positions are the thinnest right now, I would say tight end, I would say receiver, I would say defensive tackle, and they're getting Onyemata, Michael Thomas, and Nick Vannett back. So they're actually getting reinforcements at all three positions, so they don't need a trade. And they're getting Traquan Smith back, so they don't need a trade for those positions to get dudes. So I will say not yet.
Well, come on. Look, that's like crazy. I don't think they regret it at all. I think that I'm eating pretzels. Sorry, my throat is dry.
I was just about to ask. I'm glad you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
cut you off there. Um, we will be. It'll be January, and Lattimore will be injured, or Adibo
He's
will
gonna
be
get a
injured,
pick. He's gonna get
PJ Williams will be injured, and Roby will be there, and he will be in the lineup, and he's
and
going to
it'll be an epic pick.
yeah. You just like cornerback and running back. In my opinion, if I was building a football team, I'm not a general manager, I'm not a head coach, but if I were one, cornerback, running back, you can never have too many. You just can't. You just can never have too many. They're
So
getting
you're
injured all the
saying we
time.
should have never cut Latavius Murray? That's what you're
I
saying.
don't know. Latavius Murray's kind of been booty for the Ravens.
Did you watch him? He had a nice touchdown run today.
Yeah, he's got another touchdown. They could use a power runner. I don't want to
hate Latavius Murray on this team right now.
No, I would not. I would absolutely. We could use Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray could
Bring Ingram home. Bring Ingram home. Say it with me.
But I think as far as like his contract was concerned, I think that was a main reason why he was cut. And as far as building the team and moving money around and that kind of stuff. So, it is what it is. But
I'm going to tell you something. You remember how Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray were both in training camp, and they both got.
Freeman had a touchdown today. I know. I saw that.
So combined today, they had 18 carries, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Ravens.
And I mean, like, that should make you. I mean, that's got to make you feel good about the Saints, because the Saints had both of those guys, and they were like, you know what? They're not good enough for us. They're not good enough. They're not good enough to be on our team.
Well, that makes it.
And if they're out there and they're contributing on another team on a regular season Sunday, that's got to make you feel a little good about your team, because your team was the one that said, you know what, we can do even better than that. So I think that's a reason to be optimistic.
Andrew, it brings up a good point with Tony Jones Jr. If he's healthy, and they said his ankle injury wasn't the dreaded high ankle sprain or whatever, but if he's back against Seattle, he's got to get.
He can't be. He can't be.
But when he gets back,
he's miss 3 weeks.
He's got to get like 5 to 8 carries, right? They got to start giving him the ball.
Yeah, I think. We've talked about this, but I think Alvin Kamara is being used too much. If anything, what's going on in Carolina should be a lesson to all of us, to Sean Payton, to the Saints, to the NFL, that when you overutilize a guy that is that good, that it's great when it works, but eventually it's going to blow up in your face. And Sean Payton for years is very careful in how he's used his running backs, whether it's been Pierre Thomas, Reggie Bush, Mark Ingram, Chris Ivory, all these guys that have been good players. But you got to be careful about how much you use them, because you got to manage them, because 16, 17 game seasons are long. And I think they're using Alvin Kamara too much right now.
All right, so
we got a tied ball game between Seattle and Pittsburgh right now, 17-all.
Fantastic. Here, speaking of gambling,
Pete Carroll looks excited.
Well, Seattle has come back, because it was originally 14-0 Pittsburgh. So Seattle's been quite a comeback here after the first day.
Ben Roethlisberger is not good.
He is so old.
Neither of these teams is.
Every time I see Ben Roethlisberger, I'm so happy Drew retired. Not because I don't love Drew. It's just every year that Drew Brees kept deciding to play, the possibility of what is happening, Ben Roethlisberger, it could have happened to Drew, and I just didn't want to see Drew in a hopeless, washed up state.
It kind of did happen. That's kind of is
really
what we watched. It kind of is what we watched of the last season.
Yeah, but they won a bunch of games. I don't know that Pittsburgh's going to go 13-3 and 12-4 with
no, because their team isn't as good from a depth standpoint as the Saints. But that's kind of is what we got in the last season of Drew. Because Drew did want to retire the year before.
But speaking of the Sunday night football game, if you're gambling on it like me, you love to gamble. And that's why I'm excited about this new sponsor we have, guys. SimBull. It's a sports stock market that allows you to profit from your sports knowledge. But here's the cool thing. The founder of SimBull.com. He gave us an account and he gave us $500. And any money we make over $500, he's going to donate to charity and we're going to match. So we have an account that's fun. So here's how it works. You buy shares. Every time you buy a share of a team, they win, you earn money. And it's just like the stock market. So you can trade them. You can buy low, sell high. So here's the thing. My question to you guys tonight. I have $500. I know we're not a Pelicans podcast, but the Pelicans open this week. Should I buy Pelicans stock? Because they don't have Zion. And how much stock should I buy of the Saints?
No Pelican stock.
No.
Whatsoever. I trust them zero.
Yeah, no money in the NBA. We're keeping it all in the NFL.
Yeah, keep it in the NFL. Yeah.
Wait, we can bet it on anything?
We can pick any team you can buy stock. Should we buy the Bengals?
No.
I think we should.
No.
Joe Burrow.
Don't listen to Thomas. He's in Poland.
Buy the
I didn't know
Astros.
this. I would have looked into it.
Your wife is gonna be happy.
Ralph, are we talking week to week here? Like,
you can go week to week. And remember, if you buy the stock and they win, depending on the stock price, you can win 50 cents to $1. But you keep the stock forever. So, like, you can keep it into next year. So, like, the Saints are $45. Should we buy the Saints coming off the bye, getting people back? Should we buy 3, 4, 5, 6 shares of the Saints, thinking that's going to go higher because the Saints are about to rip off a little win streak?
Well, I'm
Like,
just
what should
looking
we
at
do?
I'm looking at the schedule next week, and the Rams play the Lions, and
That's a win.
the Cardinals play the Texans. So
Those are wins.
if you want layup lines, that's about as gimme as it gets in the NFL.
All right.
Well, is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna go week to week and like invest
I'm just telling
our money
you,
in
the
different
Rams.
things?
What's
This
the
is like-
biggest?
we're gonna
What's
be
the
like penny
biggest spread you've
stocks.
ever seen, Ralph? What's the biggest spread you've ever seen in your life in the NFL?
I want to say the Patriots in 2007, they played some team and they were at like 20 and a half. They
Right,
played
and it
the
was probably an
Dolphins.
AFC East team, right?
Yeah.
So the spread is the Cardinals over the Texans, 17 points, pretty close.
That's
And
close.
the Rams 15.5 over the Lions. And
Woo!
pick both of those teams.
I'll
That is
buy-
as gimme as it gets. That
mean,
is
we're
as big of
doing-
a spread as I've seen all year.
So
So
I'll
we're not
buy.
doing long term. We're doing.
If you're in
we're doing
Survivor and you
short-term.
haven't picked the Rams or the Cardinals yet,
Do it.
this is
But that's the
week.
thing, Dave. Do we go long term? That's what I'm saying. Do you go long term? Do you buy the Saints low a little bit? Do you buy like the Bengals 4-2? Do you buy
I'm
them?
liking the Bengals. Yeah.
Do you buy the Raiders? They got the little controversy with Gruden. They got a new coach. They won today. Do you go long term? I'm just saying. I think. I'm not just saying this because this is a Saints podcast. I look at the Saints. I think the Saints are about to rip off a little run. I think they're going to get healthy. I think they're going to win a bunch of games.
I think Jeff Tunkin just write an article about that?
Oh my god!
Okay.
Now I feel
This is
terrible
not. This
about
is not how to sell us on this, Dave.
it. No.
I'm just saying.
But
Didn't he just
You
write an
shoot your
article
dick
about how
off.
they were going to go on a win on a winning
so
streak?
we'll go Saints, Rams for $55, and I don't care what y'all saying. I'm buying the Pelicans $28.50. I'm buying a share. They can beat
Terrible.
Philadelphia at home when they open the season.
Nope.
That is idiot. You idiotic.
Is Ben Simmons playing or not?
He's not.
It doesn't matter. Ben Simmons playing would help us. It's worse that he's not.
I'm just saying, guys. SimBull is awesome. They're doing the charity thing with us. You should check them out. They're a great sponsor. They're going to be sponsoring us for the rest of the football season. Go to their site. Use the promo code SD. Make your first deposit
What is-
risk-free.
what is
That
their
means if
site?
you lose
They're-
money or you just decide the market isn't for you, SimBull will refund your initial deposit. No questions asked. I'm just saying they're a cool, fun site, and we appreciate them.
Ben
sponsoring us.
Roethlisberger just went full Aaron Brooks.
Wait, what
He had-
are they?
He had a Brooksy.
backwards.
Symbol is a
Not backwards, but he tried to like pump fake and hold it, and the ball slipped out of his hand. Pete Carroll is challenging right now. He ruled it a forward pass. And
I'm on YouTube TV. You're like a play ahead of me.
Yeah.
Wait, what is SimBull? So SimBull is like a gambling website.
It's like a gambling website, but it's like stock market. You buy shares of teams. If they win, you get a payout immediately, but you can hold them long term. Like you could go and you could be like, I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be amazing. I'm going to buy the Jacksonville Jaguars at their lowest point, and then in 2 years, I'm going to sell this stock and make a profit. You know,
so you can hold on to it for years.
Yeah, you might have to hold. You might have to hold on to the Jacksonville Jaguars to like 2028, but you know, it's long term. Maybe
eventually they'll win.
It's like my Litecoin investment from 2000.
Oh my God, Dogecoin?
No, not even. No, if I had Dogecoin, I would have made money, and I have Litecoin.
So
I bought it like at the height.
By the way,
let's check the Litecoin.
Nah, I don't even. I can't even. I couldn't even. I bought it at like 200.
Go ahead and embarrass Dave.
Now it's
please.
Shiba Inu coin, Dave.
Yeah, no, I bought it at like
new Dogecoin.
By the way, subscribe to us on Twitch. If you're Amazon Prime subscriber, you can subscribe. You mean Twitch Prime. That means Jeff Bezos has to give us some of his money. You should do it if you're listening to the audio version. Go to twitch.tv.saintshappyhour and click subscribe. Give us some love. We need it. Gotta pay Thomas in the finest meats and cheeses. I'm just saying. So here's another final topic before we get to trivia, questions, all the fun stuff, predictions for next week. Andrew, the NFL trade deadline, November 2nd. What do the Saints need to do before the trade deadline for you to feel great about them making the playoffs?
I don't think they have to do anything. I think they just have to get guys back healthy.
I knew he was going to say that. I fucking knew he was going to say that.
Yeah. I think at this point, I feel good about the roster. Look, I'd love to have another receiver. I'd love to have another defensive tackle, but they've already given up a third for Roby. So, yeah, I think getting Onyemata back, Davenport back, Quan Alexander, Tre'Quan Smith, Michael Thomas, Ron Armstead, Eric McCoy, Will Lutz, that's plenty. Nick Vanette, I think that's enough.
Still, if they could, if a bad team wanted to give away a receiver for like a fourth round pick or lower, I would do that in a heartbeat. I know they're getting Michael Thomas back. I know they're getting Tre'Quan back. But if the Bears, if they wanted to give Allen Robinson away for like a fourth or a fifth, and the Saints could have him from November 2nd to the end of the year, that would be cool. Like if they could get a receiver, I'd be all for it. So I disagree with Andrew. What say you?
It would just be just like Meredith.
Cam Meredith.
Saints legend Cam Meredith.
My wife.
My sister-in-law, my wife's brother's wife.
My wife's brother's wife.
My wife's brother's wife. Her first name is Meredith. So when the Saints signed Cam Meredith, I bought her a Cam Meredith jersey because it was funny. It said Meredith on the back, and he lasted what, half a season? Yeah.
I was about to say, so you were the one that bought it.
She still has it, and it's funny because it says Meredith on the back.
That's a good gift though. That's a purchase that'll last. If you're a Saints fan, you don't have to worry about him leaving.
She's actually coming up to visit us this weekend for my wife's 40th.
My wife.
And I hope that when we watch the Saints versus the Seahawks this weekend, I hope that she brought her jersey. Yeah. I will take a picture. I will post it on social media. Fingers crossed that she has the Cam Meredith jersey.
What was your original question, Ralph?
Dave, I know. Do the Saints need to do anything before the trade deadline to make you feel great about them making the playoffs? I know you aren't as addicted to the transaction as me, but do you look at it and be like, if the Saints would do this, I would feel amazing about chances to make this?
He just muted himself.
He just muted himself.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Obviously, I agree with Andrew. Obviously, this bye week and the week following is a big deal because they're getting a lot of players back, and so that's going to change a lot of things. But, jokingly, like I said earlier, I would love to go back in time, and I would love to get Trey Hendrickson back. I'm sorry we let him go. I want to get in the DeLorean. I want to show up on his door, and I want to get him back because I think the Saints would be as good as their defense is now. I think they would be that much better if Trey Hendrickson was on this team. That's the move I want to make. You didn't say it had to be. You didn't say it had to be within the realm of reality.
Andrew, if we had a DeLorean and we went back in time, could we convince Mickey Loomis of it? Because Mickey Loomis, remember, he had to cut $100 million of cap space. They wanted to keep Marcus Williams. Like, I think if we had a time machine and we could get in front of Mickey Loomis, it would be a hard sell. Like, I really believe it would be a hard sell.
I don't think it is. I know you're asking Andrew this question, but I'm going to interrupt. But I don't think it is a hard sell now. I think knowing what we know now, I think seeing Trey Hendrickson still being as good as he was last season, I think they would take that. I think the reason they got rid of Trey Hendrickson because they didn't think that he was going to duplicate his performance.
That's right.
Last season, and I think
he's even better.
Exactly. And so he's more than duplicating his performance this season. And I think if they knew that, then they would have kept him. But I think Mickey Loomis would be
Bangle.
If you ask Mickey Loomis, are you surprised at Trey Hendrickson's performance this season? I think you would say absolutely yes.
The Bengals have 33% of their defense is ex-Saints. They start 3 ex-Saints on their defense.
Who? Von Bell,
Trey Hendrickson, Von Bell, and Eli Apple.
Oh, Apple's on that team. Wow.
So, all right, Thomas, get us to Saints trivia. I don't know what this is this week, so I get to play Saints trivia this week. I'm excited.
You can guess who sponsors the trivia this week.
Budrich.
Budrich.
As always, in the chat, shout out to Budrich. And this week's trivia is pretty tricky compared to last week.
Last week was easy peasy.
Yeah. This week, Budrich asks, who is the only Saints player to make a field goal in a regular season game but not be a kicker or punter?
Oh my God.
Budrich said that you might know it, Ralph. But I guess you don't.
I mean, the only person that
I was going to say Gary Quazzo.
No, the only person that I could possibly think it might be is Guido Merkin, because he was like, like a special teams dynamo for the Saints, and he was their emergency punter. So maybe like in the 80s under Bum Phillips, they had a kicker get hurt and they had to have Guido Merkins like kick extra point or some shit. Like that's the only guy that I could come up with. And it kind of looks like a corner. And I think he was a corner. So I think I might be right on this one.
Maybe Dave can help you.
Dave, you have a guess?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
No. Dave's like, whatever.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard. No. Let me know when this segment is over.
All right, Thomas, hit it. Tell us who it is.
Why is that quality so terrible?
It does not
sound like that on my phone.
I know who it is. Hold on. I know who it is. Oh my God.
I will say he does this. The shadow does look like he's in a cornerback.
No.
He looks like
it's a running back for the Saints. Ralph, who was Thunder and Lightning?
Tony Galbraith.
Yeah, and was it Muncie and Galbraith?
Yes.
Yeah. Did Chuck Muncie kick an extra point for the Saints?
No. I think it was one of those two. I remember Thunder and Lightning. There was like a kicking component because it was like triple threat, catch, run, kick.
If you guys pull this out of your ass, I'm gonna die. I swear.
They are looking at the chat.
If the two, oh no, they're not
Hold
allowed to
on.
look at the
Hold
chat.
on,
They are
look at the
cheating.
chat.
It's taking too long. It's taking too long, man.
All right,
Here's a
I'm
break.
going. I'm going with Tony Galbraith.
All right.
My wife hates the Dodgers now, and she's excited that they might lose. Just a
I think he
baseball.
made a kick.
Again?
I really do.
Damn.
I think he made a field
Are the
goal, like a
Astros
chip
out?
shot field goal, like a
All right.
19-yard field goal.
Thomas, who is it? I can't stand the suspense.
So what's the final answer?
Guido.
I like Guido too. I like Guido. Yeah.
No, I like it. What was it? Come on, Jesus.
It was Tony Galbraith. I called it.
Oh my
God! Let's go!
I mixed you up, guys.
Wow.
See, you should have gone with your gut.
Let's go, dude! I nailed that.
That's a
You
good.
remember this Thunder and Lightning, and it was the whole thing was like he can catch, he can throw, he can run, and he can kick.
Oh wow, I didn't remember that.
Y'all
How do we
remember
feel
this?
about the over? Do the Saints need to bring back the oversized fleur-de-lis? How do we feel about that in the '70s helmet? Do we like the oversized fleur-de-lis?
Yeah, of course. As a throwback,
Yeah.
for just a week. I don't know that I want it full time, but for a week, yeah.
They need to flip it and go black helmet, gold fleur-de-lis.
Wait. So what's the history with Galbraith? Did he just make one kick?
I don't know.
He made
Butteridge.
2 out of 3.
I feel like we needed-
kicks. 2 out
He
of
only
3.
made
He
2
made
out of
2
3 in
kicks?
1979.
What's his long?
Yeah.
What's his long?
No idea.
He was 2 or 3 of field goals, but 1 of 3 on extra points. What?
Badrich in the chat. Help us out.
Tape beater does it again. Man, if the Saints, if Alvin
27
Kamara
I'm looking in and out.
kicked 2
27-yard
field goals
goal
against the
was his longest.
Seahawks next Monday night, America would lose their minds.
Oh, that's such a great stat. That's what a great trivia question.
It is.
We got to come up with that. We need video.
We need video.
Matt Budrich, find us video of
Somebody
Galbraith
go into
hitting kicks.
the YouTube
You?
black hole and find us video of Tony.
If it's
Galbraith.
a game winner against the Falcons, like his legend grows. I feel like it's kind of like Slavin, where a lot is forgiven now that we know he threw a touchdown pass against the Falcons. We used to say he was the worst Saints draft pick ever, and now like he's up the pecking order. So Galbraith, to me, he's one of the best fullbacks in Saints history, but he might vault ahead of Dalton Hilliard if he made a game-winning kick against the Falcons or something, So we need to know this stuff.
We need to. So, Thomas, fire up the music. It's question time.
You're all shuffle.
How much cocaine do you think was done during the recording of this? It was the 80s.
You think Morton Anderson?
Too
was
much.
doing
I was going to say, how much cocaine do you think was done with Tony Galbraith had to make a field goal?
I mean, we know Chuck Muncie tried to snort the...
he was sharing, yeah.
Chuck Muncie was snorting the white lines during the games because he thought he would buy.
He was snorting the 20-yard line, yeah.
Yeah. So Thomas, hit us up with the question.
Okay, we didn't have that many questions this week, but we had at least 3 interesting ones.
All right.
Pretty long ones, actually. And the first one, the question is from Saints to Death, and he asks, podcast question for Dave. List these plays in order of excitement level. Hail Mary, Flea Flicker, Statue of Liberty, Fake Punt or Kick, Onside Kick, any play involving one of your UDFA sons.
That's a good question. Hail Mary obviously is at the very bottom.
At the bottom, dead last. Yeah.
Least exciting.
Very boring. Very boring.
Yeah, mundane.
Very commonplace.
Yeah, never.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
No, honestly, I would put Hail Mary like somewhere in between there. What were the other ones? There was
Look at the screen.
Statue of Liberty. That's a rare
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's like a deep cut of trick plays.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
don't see that a lot.
So from least exciting to most exciting, I would say, all right, I'll be fair. I'll say any play involving one of my undrafted free agent sons. I'll say that's the least exciting.
Least?
Yeah,
Least?
least. Yes, 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 yes. Because I mean, they're so talented.
This feels
Like you
very
can't be surprised.
disingenuous.
No, they're so talented. You can't be. You're not gonna like you're not gonna be surprised if little Jordan catches a flea flicker touchdown pass. Like you would expect
Man, if
that.
little Jordan
Stop it.
caught a Hail Mary
Get some
against
help.
Seattle, you would be on this podcast naked next Tuesday.
Then I'll say onside kick. Then I'll say flea flicker, Hail Mary, fake punt, Statue of Liberty. That's how
I bet when Thomas Morstead pulled off ambush in the Super Bowl, Dave was like, "Yeah,
honestly,
I guess we get another possession."
You want to know something funny? I don't think I was back in my seat by the time that happened.
I wasn't.
I think I showed up like right as like these.
You wouldn't have been excited anyway, so it's fine.
When ambush happened, it took my brain like 2 seconds to I was like, what the are they? What is that? I was just like,
I was getting to my seat right as like people were, everybody was as Hank Basket was
getting it off
bobbling the
face.
ball. Yeah, it was. I was bobbling the ball, and everybody was jumping all over it. I was like getting to my seat right at that time, so I didn't have a reaction. I was surprised more than anything.
All right, Thomas.
What next?
Okay, next question also comes from Saints to Death, and it is... Actually, he asked us 3 questions, but I skipped one. Sorry, mate. Which of these 3 seasons were the worst for Saints fans? 2005, bad team, no home. 2012, Super Bowl caliber team, no head coach. Or 2015, Super Bowl worthy offense, worst defense of all time.
First of all, Saints to Death. 2005 Saints season, that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
so
I was gonna say 2012. You know that you say Super Bowl caliber team, no head coach. That was also the year that they had Steve Spagnuolo, right?
Yeah,
that was Steve Spagnuolo.
That was Spags, yeah.
That was worst defense in NFL history. Also, for me, I'm gonna answer first. I'm gonna say 2012 was worse. I mean, 2005 was miserable. I was at those games, the away games in LSU Stadium. I mean, they were miserable, but like the expectation, there were zero expectations. Like nobody was expecting the Saints to do anything in that season, and they were kind of like the, kind of a pity party as far as the Saints were concerned. 2012 was, I think, more disappointing. 2015, whatever. Honestly, if you had put 2018 when they got robbed in the playoffs by Vinovich and the no call, honestly, I probably would have put that as the most disappointing, but that wasn't included in there, so I'm not going to.
2015.
I would pick 2015 of these 3, and
really?
the reason
over 2012.
Yeah, because the reason I would say that is 2005 and 2012, I was prepared for an awful year. Obviously Katrina happened during the offseason, so you knew in 2005 like it was probably going to be bad. 2012, Sean Payton was suspended for the whole year, Mickey Loomis for half of it, and like we were braced for what was going to happen. In 2015, I had no clue that the Brandon Browner experience was going to be what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I was listening to Mina Kimes, her podcast this week, and she started talking about what's going on with the Chiefs right now and Patrick Mahomes. And ironically, their defensive coordinator is Steve Spagnuolo, who is part of this question because in 2012, the worst defense in Saints history in NFL history was Steve Spagnuolo was the orchestrator, of that defense. And now he's in Kansas City, and right now they're on pace to beat the record that he set with the Saints when he was the defensive coordinator there. Now, there's a lot of season left, so I'm sure he won't break that record, but right now he's on pace to break it. Right now, he's on pace to break it, and he's coaching the Chiefs. He's on pace to break his own record. And Mina Kimes on that show, she said, the crazy thing about Chiefs is they have Patrick Mahomes, and they're losing because statistically, every time they play another team, they're turning their opposing quarterback into Patrick Mahomes. She's talking about it like it's this unheard of, shocking thing that is just like this unicorn. And I'm listening to this and I'm thinking in my head like, welcome to the 7-9 Saints for the entire Sean Payton era.
Yeah. Look up Robert Griffin III.
Yeah. I was like, this sounds incredibly familiar.
It's like the Saints. We didn't say it was. We didn't say that would have been a great line though. We said the Saints defense turned every quarterback into Aaron Rodgers, but we should have said the Saints defense turns every quarterback into Drew Brees. That would have been a funnier bit. But yeah, the Chiefs, their defense is atrocious, and I'm not saying they won't make the playoffs because the AFC may or may not be bad, but they're not. I
turned Mina Kimes, Ralph, onto the whole concept of every field goal that you score is a punt, and every punt is a turnover.
That's right. That might be your Sistine Chapel.
That's my crown jewel. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Thomas.
What next?
Okay, next and last question comes from you know who.
Barich.
And he asks, well, it's a pretty long one again. Week of the long questions. Based on NFL.com's Gil Brandt's article, which player would you trade for? You can only pick one. Odell Beckham, Clelin Ferrell, Trey Flowers, Cam Robinson, Andrew Norwell, Marcus May, Marlon Mack, Allen Robinson, or Deshaun Watson? I already know Ralph's answer.
Deshaun Watson is he's like the red herring. He's put in there because we're supposed to pick him. I feel like we're supposed to pick him.
I mean,
that is the red herring in that whole question.
Part of me wants to say Odell Beckham so we can play.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
I don't know. He's
over and over again.
He's getting old.
But he's injured. And
I would prefer Allen Robinson over Beckham. I'm not going to lie.
I think Marlon Mack, the running back, would be really interesting. Deshaun Watson, he's like his stuff, like it's too messy, and it costs you a ton.
What about Andrew Norwell?
I think.
You want an offensive lineman?
Why not?
I think for comedy on this podcast, Clelin Ferrell would be just me butchering that name.
Cleveland.
That would be just me butchering that name over and over again.
You're off to a good start.
Yeah. You're off to the races, Ralph.
That's right. So
I'm going Deshaun Watson, and I make no apologies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want the quarterback of the future. It's either going to blow up in the Saints' face or it's going to be amazing.
I guess at the very least it'll be cheap.
Almost want to vomit.
I mean,
he'd be better than Jameis.
He's gonna get the NFL
better than Jameis. Wow. Okay. All right.
The NFL.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
they're being really
Jameis is MVP, man.
Deshaun Watson. The NFL wants him to still be a star. He's gonna go to another team, and the NFL is just gonna push all his icky massage stuff away like it never happened. I just hope to God he doesn't
like
go
it's
to Carolina.
Robert Kraft's icky massage stuff. They're just gonna
not
push
to Carolina.
Away like it's
happy
Robert
ending.
Kraft's. Yeah. It just depends on who you are.
It'll all be forgiven when he throws a couple touchdown passes.
If you're
Deshaun
Watson
know how this works.
and you're going to get a massage, that's no good. But if you're Robert Kraft and you're getting a massage, that's fine.
Yeah. So last week we didn't have game predictions because the Saints were off. This week we're doing game predictions, but Thomas wanted to up the ante. He wanted to keep score. He wanted to add in some spice. We'll try to figure out whoever finishes last in the in the competition for picking games every week, well, they'll have to do something horrible. But
What
Thomas,
is it? What's the punishment?
we have to figure it out. I got some.
Well, what are we doing right now? Let's talk about what the punishment's going to be. What are we waiting for?
I have some barbecue flavored crickets I bought in San Antonio.
I'll eat those. That's not a punishment. That's nothing.
You could do fantasy football.
Ralph, I feel like your ears are bigger in these.
I think so too.
In these pictures than they actually are.
Stretch out my ears or some shit.
If so,
What
well
else?
done.
Make you handsome?
Well done. Strong choice.
So explain the new rules, Thomas, and then tell the people who's ahead after 5 weeks. Explain the new rules.
Okay, so the rules are pretty simple. The winner, if you predict the winner correctly, you get 1 point. If you predict just one score, then you get 1 point. If you get both scores, you get 2 points. If you choose the star or the third of the game correct, then you get 2 points. And there's also a lock the game feature. Each week you can decide to lock the game. The score multiplier is 2 times, but you lose 1 point if you fail to predict the winner, and you only can use lock the game feature 3 times per season. And if you are the only person to lock the game any given week, then every other person loses the same amount of points that
Jesus Christ, that's like the terms and conditions on a gambling site.
Hey, I wanted to make it easy. I wanted to implement more things.
Thomas, I already signed after the second thing you listed on here. I already signed. You know,
Wait,
I didn't read the fine print.
Hold on, what's going in the Seattle Pittsburgh game? Everybody's gathered around. Somebody's getting carted off the field.
What is this bullshit right here?
This looks very serious. Wait, no, I'm serious. Somebody is seriously injured on the field on the Monday Night Football.
There's a
but yes, I am. Andrew is upset because I am winning. I have scored the most points because I
feel
know
like you should get a -1 for.
I know the most
Mary.
about
For the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, I don't even think you should be bringing that up, because honestly, I should be hitting like a multiplier, because I say Hail Marys happen all the time, and then bam, 3 happen in the same goddamn weekend. So I don't know. It should be like what is it? I have 3 points now. I should have like 7 points, and you guys should have 2 points.
Oh God.
Yeah. Kevin is killing it, by the way.
Yeah,
0 points. Yeah, it's hard out there for a player.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna log the correct week. You know.
Somebody let him know that like we've started keeping score. That's gonna change his.
So I guess Andrew, you're up first. So go.
27-13 Saints. I think Geno Smith is going to be garbage, and my star of the game, he'll be back. He's going to make a big difference, baby. I'm talking about Michael Thomas, my star of the game.
He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
Dave, are you gonna put the lockdown on it, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm locking it in.
You cannot. You have
what do you mean I can't?
You have to log before the.
Yeah, you should.
No, he can lock it down.
I'm calling an audible
Yes,
right
I
now.
make
You
the
lock
rules.
that
I make
shit
the
in,
rules.
Thomas.
No, you can't.
I'm calling an audible. You lock that shit in. You make it happen.
You were supposed to lock it before.
No, they're gonna lose, and you're gonna thank me later.
Yeah,
Lock it.
What? My turn. All right. I gotta look up what I told Thomas. I'm not locking anything in.
As always.
Yeah, I know. I'm not locking anything in, but I definitely think the Saints are gonna win. The Seattle Seahawks, they're still playing now. Obviously, something's going on the field. I don't know what's going on, but Geno Smith, forget it.
They're a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little scary for whoever's out there on the field. But for next week, Geno Smith does not pose a threat to the Saints at all. I don't think. I'm not worried about this game at all. maybe that's my fault. So I'm going to say the Saints 27.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
That's right. That's right. Saints 27, and I think I said the I gotta admit it's funny because you know I don't know, I guess I have like PTSD. I guess I'm thinking back to like 2013, 2014, 2015, but like I mean the uh the Seahawks used to scare the hell out of me.
Their home
And
stadium, yeah, it's very.
yeah, I mean, they used to scare the hell out of me. They still got the card out for whoever's injured. This is terrible. I hate
This
to see
looked
this.
awful. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I mean,
looked really
both
bad.
teams are all out there on the field.
Is it a
He's
Seahawk
completely
player?
I have
locked
no
into the. He's on the stretcher, but he's like fully locked in.
I have no idea, but it's got to be bad. I hope
Yeah,
it's not
this looks. I mean, obviously, this looks like a neck injury or something.
spinal injury or something.
Is it a Seahawk or is it a Steeler?
Seahawk.
Is it?
Oh,
I can't
wow.
even
Yeah,
tell.
it's Seahawk defensive player.
But no, to answer your earlier question, you know what we're talking about. I just they used to scare the hell out of me. I used to hate going to Seattle and playing them. They were a great team. Russell Wilson, their defense was great. Obviously, it's not the same, but I do have a little bit of a PTSD. I think it's hard for me to see the Saints just going in there and totally dominating the Seahawks. Even though, I know Teddy Bridgewater went in there and did a great job, but I don't know. I do have a little bit of a bad memories in Seattle, but yes, this year I think they're going to win. So I'm going to say Saints 27, and I think I said the
I'll help
Seahawks.
you, man.
Yeah, what did I say they had?
It's taking so long,
17? 17?
You got Thomas
Yeah, I said
shook.
17. Yeah, 27, 17. And I didn't know Michael Thomas was coming back. I'm not convinced Michael Thomas will be back. Will be ready for next week. But so I said Traquan. I think Traquan's going to be star of the game. He's going to come back and light that shit up.
Damn it, Dave! He's my star of the day too.
Yeah,
That
I
means
know.
I can't pull ahead if he has an awesome game.
Oh, right. Now they're
Thomas, I can remember my star of the day. I have no idea for the score. I said the Saints would curb stomp them, so I know it's ridiculous. I know it was like 31-7 or something.
You want me to help you?
Yeah, I need you to help me. My ears are so Andrew. Now that you've mentioned it, my ears are so gigantic in this.
You look like you're a Klingon or something.
I do.
Like a Star
Take
Trek.
off your headset, Ralph.
I
Let us see them in real time.
They're not that big. I'm telling you. Look, see, not.
It does not sound like
I
that
look
on my
like
phone.
I look like Alfred E. Newman humped a rhino or something and had a baby. Like it's
Nobody's
terrible.
looking at your ears with your dead arms. So I mean, like that's
Yeah, I know. So
what's important.
So my 31-14. That's what I had. Yeah. And Traquan, star there. So Kevin, did he grace us with a pick, Thomas, or no?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Kevin
look
always
at
sends
that.
his pick first out of.
Really? Always first. That's the least,
Yeah.
That's the least he could do. That's the least.
Yeah.
He could
Nice of him to show up.
do. Yeah.
Hopefully he picked the Seahawks because remember last week we went 2 weeks in a row where we all picked the Saints.
That's right.
And they lost.
Yeah.
And then he had a week where 3 of us picked the Saints and Kevin picked the other team, and then we were right. So I'm hoping he picked Seattle.
Your reasoning is correct, Andrew, and Kevin also thinks the same ways. He picked the Seahawks 17-13, and third of the game is gonna be Jameis.
Ooh.
Why is it same?
He's gonna throw 3 picks according
Perfect.
to Kevin.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
Well, one of us will be right, I guess.
Yeah. So, Thomas.
Yeah,
do
we got
have a clip?
Ralph Siciliano over there with his
Oh,
pick.
that's low.
Yeah.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me, Andrew. That is mean. That is just
Good
mean.
times.
Thomas, what's the clip of the week?
Okay, so we didn't have that many clips as last week. Last week we had more than 10, if I remember correctly. This time we had like Only 4, guys. You disappoint me. So let's check out the clip of the week, which is named "Forgive Me, Father, for Dave Has Sinned." Clip by Big JMC.
I already know where this is going.
They scored on a Hail Mary. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Like, well,
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know. I
Like,
guess
it doesn't get any better. It's like the most exciting play ever.
I love it.
I love it. Great job.
So what the hell is wrong with you, Dave? Seriously.
How many? I just want to go over it again. How many Hail Marys were there this weekend that were completed?
How many in Saints history?
No. How many Hail Marys? How many Hail? Regardless of whether the Saints are able to do it or not, that's pointless. Like the
Sorry,
Saints.
I live in a world where
pointless.
I'm
We're
in
a
a Saints
Saints
prison,
podcast.
buddy. Yeah.
Okay, but
What happens in Tulsa versus Toledo? That doesn't affect my realm.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
Well, okay. Well, sorry, but I haven't been a Saints fan since 1967, and so I've been watching other football games, and in other football games, they complete Hail Marys. Sorry, not that exciting.
oh my god.
Sorry, I've seen Aaron Rodgers complete Hail
Yeah,
Mary.
you know what, Dave? Every other play that you deem exciting, those happen at an exponentially higher rate than Hail Marys.
We know what play was exciting when Tracy Porter picked off Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. That was
all the time.
that was exciting.
Happens all the
If
time.
the Saints
that does not happen. All the time.
if the Saints
it wasn't that big of a
if the
deal.
Saints hit another Hail Mary, if the Saints hit another Hail Mary during this year, we may have to have a breaking news Twitch live stream
Yeah,
during the
I will
game.
stop whatever I'm doing.
Dave and I are
for
coming to
Dave.
blows if the Saints hit another Saints Hail Mary.
Well, no, we're not. I think it's over. I think you're done. I think you've been if the Saints hit another Hail Mary this season, I think it's over. I think fuck you, Andre Juge is. I think
Wins
that
forever.
wins. Oh, it's done.
Wait, so does this mean I'm supposed to root against hitting another Hail Mary? 'Cause
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess
I
so
want
for
to
the
see
Saints.
another
No,
one.
I root for the content, and the content would be amazing. Like people,
I mean, the fact that there were 2 this weekend, I'm already way ahead of the game. Like, there's no way I can lose this.
somebody in the chat said I
can't
look like
believe
an
there were 2
evil
Hail Marys.
leprechaun. That's mean.
You need a hat.
I need a.
Any
Clover.
chance that for the next time we do the scores, the predictions, Thomas, you can put a little leprechaun hat on Ralph?
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm a little
Go ahead and make that happen.
I'm disappointed we didn't have the Throckmorton sign up for our prediction.
You
Where
want
was
the you want your head and the Throckmorton
Yes,
X-ray
I
to
want-
be
I
part
want-
of your picks thing
I
every
want my
week, Dave? Is
face
that what you want?
next to an X-rayed penis
That's right.
every week. Yes,
The penis.
Okay.
The penis
Better-
will point the
better you than
way
me.
if the
Yes.
Saints will win.
it's the Throckmorton sign.
So
Throckmorton never lies.
that's right. So guys, thanks
Ralph,
for
we have
joining
the-
us.
We
Let
have
me-
the, Ralph, wait. We have the Tony Gabbro video ready, by the way. if you-
Oh my God! Here we go.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it. Here we go.
Dude, he's going old school straight
So
on
this
too.
is
Oh,
a
is
run,
it
this, so this
backwards?
is a running back. This is a running back kicking a field goal.
Oh my
Dude.
God, he nailed it.
I mean, that's what we're watching.
Against the
It's
Packers.
for those who weren't alive back then, which is all of us.
Wow.
That was a running back kicking a field goal
That was at
or an extra
the-
point. Was an extra point? No, it was a field goal.
that was,
3-0.
that was in the first quarter, 3-0.
Wow.
That was
This
at
is
the
84 Steve Odom.
that was in
return.
the frozen tundra.
That's actually when the Green Bay used to play one game a season in Milwaukee because you could see the baseball diamond. So they're actually playing in the old county stadium.
No
You
kidding.
could see the baseball stadium.
What did
And
you
can
guys-
tell it's not Lambeau.
You know what? I didn't even read the articles. What happened? What happened in Tennessee? Did they finish that game?
Yes.
Oh, with Lane Kiffin,
Yeah, they finished the
finished
game.
they finished it. Yeah, he got pelted with a golf ball, a bottle of urine.
When did they finish it? Today?
No, they finished
Sunday?
it last night.
Oh,
Last night,
okay. Oh.
they wrapped it up. Future
in real
LSU
time,
head coach
yeah.
Lane Kiffin.
All right.
You think so, huh?
I think the Dodgers just lost. My wife is
And-
cackling in the
My
back.
wife.
And Ed Orgeron gone.
They did.
Who's gonna be the next?
I want an
LSU
African American
Tiger?
coach. I want a black coach.
Yeah.
Mel Tucker, come on down, baby.
Eric,
I want an
I say
Asian
that
coach.
because it would be
Eric the enemy.
unprecedented
No, no, no.
unprecedented for the SEC, at least in terms of the power schools, in the SEC.
That's right.
And I just think with Louisiana, it would make a difference in terms of player recruitment and just player connectivity and all that. I don't know. I think it would be. You got to get the right guy, obviously, but I
Mel
think
Tucker
it could
would
be
be
huge.
I'm down for it, Andrew. But his buyout I read is like $20 million or something ridiculous. But LSU could
Make
make
it
that
happen.
I'm sure.
Make it happen.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you always. Support the show when you can. You sign up for an annual patron. You get a month for free. Subscribe on Twitch. That helps support the show. We need all the support you can get. There isn't another Saints podcast, live stream, whatever, doing what we do. There just isn't. So support us so we can keep doing it. So, for Kevin, who's MIA.
2/3 of us appreciate a Hail Mary.
Yeah, for Dave, who's a Hail Mary truther. For Andrew. For Thomas running the show back in Poland. He pitched a
happen all the
no-hitter
time.
tonight. He was awesome. As always, the best executive producer in the business. Thomas, thank you for running a great show. Remember, kids,
Remember,
Don't-
Hail Marys happen all the time.
don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed.